Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share. For a long time, like many people, my son disliked vegetables. However, over the past several years, I gradually mixing more vegetable with the meat that he enjoys. I have slowly cultivated in him a liking of certain type of vegetables. He now likes broccoli a lot. So this is a dish which I use to mix beef with vegetables. So this dish contains not only broccoli, I also include green beans as well as carrots. So okay, let's enter into the kitchen and see what we could do. Prior cooking to this dish, I just finished cooking another vegetable dish, so I decided I'm not going to wash the wok. I'm going to cook this dish in two stages, the vegetable first and then followed by the beef. I'm going to start out by stir fry some carrots as well as some green beans. Through advanced prepping, I already have these two ingredients available in my refrigerator. I followed the guidance of my dietitian friend. She said you should always include at least 3 vegetables in all your meals. I stir fry the green bean and the carrot first because they take a little bit longer to cook than the broccoli. Well, this gives them some time to catch up before I add the main ingredients for this vegetable dish is the broccoli. As you can see, I add quite a bit broccoli. There's about 12 ounces of broccoli right here. We eat broccoli at least 2 or 3 times a week. We love its flavor and texture, and also it is readily available. This broccoli that I use actually comes in a bag with only the floret. And all I need to do is trim it to the size that I want, and it is ready to be used. Broccoli has an excellent shelf life in the refrigerator. When I store them in plastic containers such as this, they last for at least a week. Broccoli is very thirsty for cooking oil. As you can see, the bottom of the wok is almost completely devoid of any cooking oil. So to prevent it from burning, you should stir it regularly and quickly. And now the vegetable almost done. I'm going to season it. First, start out with some oyster sauce. And then to add sweetness to the dish, I'm going to add some hoisin sauce. Both these are very traditional for Mongolian beef. In some recipes, they call for brown sugar, which I'm going to avoid. The slight charring on the surface of the vegetable is desirable because it adds flavor. The next step, I'm going to add some water to the wok. The water serves 2 purposes. The first is that it steams the vegetables. The steaming will create a more tender texture on the stem of the broccoli. The second purpose of the steaming is that to create a more vivid green color of the broccoli floret. As you can see that I'm adding a little bit of water at a time, and I use a water squeeze bottle, so that will give me better control of how much water that I want to add to the wok. At this point, I usually turn down the heat because I do not want the water to evaporate too quickly. How long you want to steam the vegetables depends on how soft you want their texture to be. This portion of the cooking is critical because if you steam them too long, the vegetable might become too mushy. After I did a quick taste test, I add some more soy sauce to make the dish with a little bit more salt. Personally, I prefer dish with less salt, but since I'm cooking this for my son, he likes dish that is saltier. Okay, now the dish is cooked. I'm going to transfer them to a serving plate. Now the main vegetable ingredient in this dish, as you can see, is broccoli. But I have added some green bean as well as some carrot. Through prepping in advance, I already have them in the refrigerator ready to be used. By prepping my vegetable in the beginning of the week, they are like money in the bank, and I can withdraw them anytime I want. This allows me to have much greater diversity in the dish I cook by including different kinds of vegetables. I put a cover on this dish to keep it warm, and I'm now ready to cook the beef. For this portion of the cooking, the wok has to be as hot as possible because I want to sear the beef. I'm going to let the oil to heat up and allow it to smoke a little bit. I don't usually do that for other dishes, but because for the beef, the searing is important. I'm going to use 8 ounces of flank steak to cook this dish. A flank steak is the cut of choice for Mongolian beef. It is a lean cut and contains minimum amount of fat. As soon as I bring the flank steak back home from the supermarket, I slice them very thinly. I store them in Ziploc bags in 8-ounce portions. I then remove as much air as I possibly can, and I freeze them as flat as possible. This way they can be thawed in about 10 minutes in a bowl of water. I'm going to season the dish the same way as I did with the vegetables, first with oyster sauce, and then I follow it with some hoisin sauce. You notice that I start seasoning the dish even before the beef is fully cooked. Because the beef will continue to cook as you are mixing the sauce in with it. It is very easy to overcook the beef, particularly if you want to cook it into a certain degree of doneness. Next, I add some chopped red onion. Now, onion is a characteristic for the Mongolian beef. In my case, I decided to turn off the stove because I use an electric stove. The remaining heat will finish cooking the dish. And next, I'm going to add some water to create a light sauce for the beef. To me, one of the most challenging tasks in cooking this dish is to make sure you do not overcook them. So okay, the dish is done. The total cook time is less than 1 minute and 15 seconds. And next, I transfer the beef over the broccoli that I cooked earlier. For this dish, the reason for cooking the vegetable and the beef separately is obvious. In many ways, there are 2 different types of cooking process, and if you combine them together, you're going to either overcook one ingredient or undercook the other ingredients. Cooking them separately will allow you maximum control. The last step, I'm going to garnish the surface of the beef with some additional oyster sauce. The oyster sauce will add a nice touch to the dish. Lastly, I looked into the refrigerator and I found some scallions. They are already prepped and ready to go. Again, this is the advantage of prepping in advance, so I'm going to garnish the dish with some scallions to give some color as well as some texture and flavor. This dish is fast. The total cook time is a little bit over 7 minutes. So okay, next let's take a look at the nutritional as well as the caloric value of this dish. As expected, most of the calories is going to come from the flank steak. For 8 ounces of flank steak, it contributes 439 calories. I'm going to serve this dish with white rice for about 1 cup, which is about 8 ounces. It's 296 calories. Actually, the nutritional value of this dish is not bad at all. In addition to the broccoli, there are 4 different kinds of vegetables with total calorie contribution of 189. And the calorie contribution from the canola oil is 160. This will make the meal with a total calorie content of 1160 calories. When I divide this meal into 2 portions, then each portion will have 580 calories. I make this dish mainly for my son, so I was thinking that if I'm going to eat it with my wife, what kind of adjustment would I make to the dish? Since neither one of us eat too much beef anymore, so I would probably drop the meat from 8 ounces to 3 ounces. Since we don't eat much rice at all, I would drop the rice portion again also from 8 ounces down to 6 ounces. I would like to have more vegetables, so I will increase the French beans from 3 ounces to 6 ounces. I will also drop the canola oil from 4 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons. This change will reduce the calorie from 1160 to 799 calories. This will drop our individual calorie consumptions from 580 calories to 399 calories, a saving of 180 calories. So if it is up to us, the meat in this dish will serve as a condiment rather than as a main ingredient. A friend of mine who's a nutritionist, he told me that he would never give up meat. He used the rule is that he will only include about 10 to 15% of the ingredients in his dish that will come from meat. The remaining ingredients will all come from plants, mainly vegetables. Well, he said that because humans evolved as omnivore, so we do have a hankering for meat. It is the balance that is important that will provide us with the greatest nutritional benefit as well as from our taste preference. I agree with him completely. We do not eat meat that much anymore, but we really enjoy having a little bit to go with our meal. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time.